I was once the undisputed princess of the family. But on my 18th birthday, my dad adopted an orphan girl from a shelter, and everything changed. My brother, who once protected me, now adored her and despised me. My childhood sweetheart, who promised to marry me, now ignored me for her. Even my father, my hero, said the orphan was 10,000 times better than his own flesh and blood. On my college graduation day, they missed my celebration for the 101st time because of her. I finally snapped. Am I not your real family? Why does she always come first? My dad, seeing the orphan girl tear up in fear, slapped me across the face. You jealous, petty thing. I wish I never had you. My brother screamed at me. Having a sister like you makes me sick. Get out of this house. I didn't argue. I silently packed my bags and left. After I was gone, the house was finally peaceful. They took the orphan girl on a trip to Antarctica to see penguins, thinking the silent treatment would work like always. They thought I'd cool off and come crawling back. They didn't know I was gone for good. I called my mother, accepted her offer to move abroad, and never looked back. This time I really didn't want them anymore. Mom, I accept your offer. I'm moving abroad to live with you. The voice on the other end paused, then erupted in joy. Emily, you finally agreed. Then, her tone shifted to worry. Wait, honey, you said you weren't considering it last time. Did your father do something? Is he mistreating you? I knew that old fool was unreliable. When we divorced, I should have fought harder to take you. He swore he'd take care of you and your brother. Is this how he keeps his promise? Emily, tell me what happened. Mom will fix it. It was true. When my parents divorced, Mom fought for me. But Dad wouldn't let go, promising to give me the world. My brother, Liam, hugged me and cried, begging me not to leave. So I stayed. But now they had forgotten those promises. I swallowed the lump in my throat, took a deep breath, and forced a cheerful tone. No, Mom, it's not that. I just miss you. Mom paused again. I miss my Emily too. Come here, and we'll never be separated again. I'm booking your ticket right now. Just come home. Okay. As soon as I hung up, my phone buzzed. It was a notification from the airline. The ticket was booked. 3 days from now. Chapter 2. Mom texted again. Emily, take these few days to say goodbye to your friends. Once you're here, I'm never letting you go again. Say goodbye to Dad, Liam, and my fiancé, Brandon? 3 days was more than enough. I turned off my phone and stood on the street corner for a long time. The autumn wind in New York was biting. The cold seeped into my bones, making me shiver. Eventually, I called Dad. Blood is thicker than water, right? Even if things were bad, I should say goodbye properly. The call was declined immediately. I called again, straight to voicemail. I had no choice but to call Liam. It rang for a long time before he finally answered, his voice dripping with impatience. Why do you keep calling? Don't you know Sarah is performing right now? You almost ruined her show. Even knowing his bias, his words stung. I pressed a hand to my chest to ease the ache and spoke softly. Liam, we haven't seen each other in a while. Can we have dinner tonight?
He scoffed.
Afraid he'd hang up, I rushed to add, the seafood restaurant Sarah likes just finished renovations. Let's go there tonight, okay? Sarah was the orphan Dad adopted. Since she arrived, I had never been this humble before her. Liam sneered at my desperation. Emily, what game are you playing? You almost ruined Sarah's performance last time. Are you trying to poison her now? My heart felt like it was being sliced open. The brother who promised to always believe in me was gone. No. Liam, I just want to see you guys. I don't want to see you. He was cut off by a soft, fragile voice in the background. Liam, don't talk to Emily like that. She'll be sad. It's been so long since we saw her. Let's have dinner. But I'm tired today. I don't want to go out. Let's eat at home. I'm craving spicy crab, but the maid is off. Can Emily make it? Of course, I said instantly. I'll go home and start cooking right now. I hung up before they could change their minds. I forgot I was allergic to seafood. I couldn't touch it. The wind made my eyes water as I rushed to the market. Crabs were hard to clean. Within minutes, my fingers were red and swollen, and rashes began to appear on my palms. But thinking this was our last family dinner, I endured the itching and pain. When the spicy crab was ready, Dad, Liam, and Sarah arrived. I brought the dish out and glanced at the living room. It was a picture of warmth. Dad, usually so busy, sat opposite Sarah, listening to her talk about backstage drama. Liam peeled an orange for her, scolding playfully, "Let me do that. Our Sarah's hands are for playing piano, not manual labor." My ex-fiancé, Brandon, and his parents were there too. Compared to me, they clearly preferred Sarah as their future daughter-in-law. Brandon sat next to her, looking at her with adoration, handing her water whenever she paused. I stood there, invisible, just like always. As long as Sarah was there, I ceased to exist. The dining room and living room were two different worlds. One lively, one lonely. I almost forgot that once, Sarah's seat was mine. The person surrounded by love used to be me. "Emily, why are you standing there? Come sit with us," Sarah called out sweetly. Liam scoffed. "Don't. She'll ruin the mood." "I don't get it. We're all family, but some people's hearts are just rotten." I dug my nails into my palms to stop the tears. I forced a smile. "Right, I won't come over. Dinner is ready." By the time I brought the last dish out, the 6 seats at the table were full. Sarah sat in my usual spot. Dad, Liam, Brandon, and his parents filled the rest. Liam looked up at me. Before he could speak, I grabbed my bowl and went back to the kitchen. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw Liam pause. But only for a second. Soon, he was busy peeling shrimp for Sarah. I stood in the kitchen, eating plain rice with leftover vegetable sauce. I couldn't help but look. Sarah loved seafood. The whole table pampered her. Brandon's parents used to dote on me. Now, like Brandon, they poured all their affection onto the new girl. The atmosphere was so happy. I remembered when I was the one being peeled shrimp for. When I was the center of their world. I stared too long. Liam caught my eye. His warm gaze turned icy instantly. I fled back into the kitchen, tripping over a pot on the floor. The lid clattered loudly. Dad stopped peeling shrimp. I knew her apology wasn't sincere. Asked her to cook one meal, and she's throwing a tantrum in the kitchen. No manners. I hugged myself in the dark. "Dad, it's not like that. I just tripped. This is our last meal together. I didn't mean to ruin it." But I knew explaining was useless.
He wouldn't believe me.
Brandon's mom, Mrs. Hayes, looked toward the kitchen with pity. "She's just a child, probably tired. It's normal to be grumpy." We didn't even notice there weren't enough chairs. "Get a stool for Emily." Under their disgusted gazes, Mrs. Hayes pulled me to the table. "Emily, I haven't seen you in 2 months.
You're so thin.
Eat something." Everyone stared at me. Dad frowned, about to speak. Suddenly, Sarah clutched her chest and screamed. "It hurts," cough so hard to breathe. Dad, Liam, and Brandon immediately surrounded her. Seeing the rash spreading on Sarah's neck, Dad gasped. "Allergic reaction?"
How?
Realization dawned on him. He glared at me with cold fury. Then he slapped me with all his strength. "Did you do this? How did I raise such a vicious daughter?" I fell to the floor, ears ringing. Everyone else looked at me like I was a monster. Pale and shaking, I stammered, "It wasn't me, I didn't." But as always, they convicted me without a trial. Liam gritted his teeth. "I can't believe you're my sister. You make me sick. I knew you weren't being nice today. You poisoned her." Brandon looked down at me, sneering. "Mom, you see why I don't like her now. She's too manipulative. I can't spend my life with someone like that." Mrs. Hayes wanted to say something, but Dad picked Sarah up and roared. "Enough. We'll deal with this later." Hospital.
Now.
They rushed out with Sarah. I lay on the floor, clutching my swollen face. I watched them leave and finally let the tears fall.
See?
It's always like this. If it involves Sarah, I am always the villain. Something inside me died completely. The pain was agonizing.
But I knew this was the last time.
I was leaving. I would never see them again. I would never cry for them again. I went in my room and started packing. I didn't need to wait 3 days. That slap made it crystal clear. No one here wanted me. I might as well leave now instead of waiting to be kicked out. I sorted through my things. Surprisingly, I had very little. Since Sarah arrived, Dad and Liam rarely bought me anything. They barely gave me an allowance. I rarely came back to this home anyway. It made packing easy. My eyes fell on a family photo on the desk. Memories flooded back. When Mom left for Europe after the divorce, Dad cried all night. He hugged Liam and me, saying he failed as a husband but would be the best father. Liam swore he'd be the best big brother. He said he'd never let me be sad, afraid I'd leave like Mom. And they were great. I was sickly as a kid. No matter how busy Dad was, if I had a fever, he'd rush home. When I was 12 and bullied at school, 15-year-old Liam fought 5 boys alone. He came home bruised and bloody, but the bullies were terrified of the crazy brother. No one messed with me after that. Brandon was good to me too. When Dad was away, he'd take us to his house for Mrs. Hayes' cooking. When we felt guilty about eating there too often, he'd look at me with shining eyes and say, "What's there to be embarrassed about? We can eat together for the rest of our lives." I believed him. So when I turned 18 and Dad suggested an engagement with the Hayes family, I agreed immediately. I fantasized about a happy future. I wouldn't even have to move far. My love was right next door. But the next day, Dad brought Sarah home. And everything shattered. She inserted herself into every moment I had with Liam and Brandon. She broke my things and blamed me. She poured milk on herself and cried, "Emily, I know you didn't mean it." She cut up the clothes Dad bought her and sobbed, "Emily, I won't take your things. Please don't be mad." She covered herself in trash and cut herself, then threw herself into Brandon's arms, wailing, "Brandon, tell Emily to stop. I'm going to die. I'll leave. Just please make the bullying stop." Driven mad by her gaslighting, I finally exploded. But the family who always stood behind me stood in front of her. "Emily, I'm so disappointed in you," Dad said. Liam slapped me. "You forgot how it felt to be bullied? How could you do this to Sarah? Get out." Brandon held Sarah gently, his eyes full of disgust for me. "Emily, I didn't know you were this kind of person. I need to rethink our engagement." They ignored my pleas. They took Sarah to the hospital, just like today. And my place in this home vanished. By midnight, I was packed. Just one small suitcase. I piled everything else in a corner and left a note for the maid to trash it. I dragged my suitcase downstairs. Near the foyer, I ran into Dad, Liam, and Brandon returning. With Sarah. I stood in the shadows. They didn't see me. Luckily, she didn't eat much. The reaction wasn't severe. Could have been fatal. Emily went too far. She needs to apologize. Sarah whispered, "No, she didn't mean it." Liam scoffed. "You're too kind, Sarah. People like her need to be punished. By the way, didn't you want her big bedroom with the balcony? Let's make her switch rooms with you as punishment." Dad frowned, about to object. Sarah chirped, "Really? I love that balcony." Dad's brow smoothed. He stayed silent. My eyes stung. What was I expecting? They really didn't care about me anymore. I stepped out of the shadows. "Since Sarah likes my room, she can have it." Startled, Sarah almost laughed seeing my suitcase. Liam, who just suggested taking my room, frowned. "Stop the drama. Who moves out in the middle of the night? We can't trust you alone with Sarah anyway. You might hurt her again." I replied instantly, "I'll move to the dorms." Liam's face darkened. "Fine. Whatever." Sarah hid behind Dad, feigning fear. "Emily, don't be mad.
I
don't want your room." I was joking. I looked at her coldly. "Don't worry. I said it's yours. It's yours. And I won't be coming back." Sarah's eyes lit up with joy. Dad looked unhappy. "Not coming back? I didn't believe Sarah before, but you really have gone bad. Just graduated, and you want to run wild outside." I raised you better than this. You're just like your mother. Restless and ungrateful. My heart felt like it was punched. How could he say that about me and Mom? No, I'm moving because I'm leaving for... Do whatever you want. Dad roared, cutting me off. Who cares what you do? Leave if you want. Don't think I want you here. I wish I never had you. I have Sarah now. She's 10,000 times better than
You.
I stayed silent. I picked up my suitcase and opened the door. It was raining. I shivered. I wanted to grab an umbrella.
Slam.
The door shut behind me. From inside, Liam's voice mocked. Make sure you stay.
Gone.
Don't come crawling back like a dog begging us to take you in. I smiled bitterly. I walked into the rain. Water mixed with the tears on my face. I walked toward the gate, planning to find a hotel.
I lied. I
couldn't stay in the dorms anymore. The gate of the neighboring villa opened. Brandon ran out. Emily, would it kill you to be soft? Sarah is so nice. Why can't you get along?
Right.
Since Sarah is so nice, why can't I get along with her? Because she's a two-faced, manipulative snake. But I didn't want to explain anymore. I had nothing to say to the man I used to love. Seeing my silence, Brandon grabbed my arm. Emily, stop acting like this. Apologize to Sarah. Promise to get along. And I'll agree to the engagement, okay? I stopped and looked into his eyes. We won't get engaged, Brandon. We broke up a long time ago, didn't we? Stung by my gaze, Brandon threw my hand away. Stubborn. I shouldn't have been soft on you. Keep acting out. One day you'll die alone, and no one will even collect your body. Brandon left. I kept walking out of the gated community. It was hard to get a ride here. Finally, an Uber accepted my request before I froze to death. My clothes were soaked. I tipped the driver extra to let me
in.
Just as I got in, a Bentley drove toward us. It was Liam's car. He probably came to see how pathetic I looked. He stopped and flashed his lights frantically. The driver asked, "You know him?" I shook my head.
No.
Let's go. As the car moved through the rain-streaked window, I thought I saw panic on Liam's face. Probably imagined it. Why would he worry about me? The rain made me sick. I lay in a hotel room for 2 days, delirious with fever. Thanks to meds from the front desk, I managed to stand up on the 3rd day and get to the airport. Boarding the plane, I got a video message from Sarah. She was sitting on my balcony, watching Dad, Liam, and Brandon redecorate my room for her. She messaged, "Emily, your room is mine now." Jealous? Not only did they give me the room, they're taking me to Antarctica to see penguins. I smiled. I replied, "Congrats. You got what you wanted. Not just the room. Everything there is yours now." Then I snapped my SIM card in half and threw it in the
trash.
I boarded the plane to a new life. After decorating Emily's room for Sarah, the family took Sarah to Antarctica. But after a week, Liam felt restless. He kept checking his phone. Yesterday was his birthday. Emily never missed his birthday. Even if she wasn't there, a message and gift would arrive. This was the first time, nothing. He felt uneasy. "Dad, I want to go home." Dad, smoking more than usual, frowned. "We just got here." Sarah pouted. "Liam, don't be a party pooper. It's fun here." Liam insisted. "We've been gone a while. We should check on things." Sarah whined. "Nothing's wrong at home." Emily moved out. "Anyway." Liam frowned. "Why are you calling her by her name?" Sarah looked guilty for a second, then bounced over to Liam. "Everyone else calls her that, so I followed." Liam pulled his arm away. "It's different. You call her sister." Sarah sulked. She looked at Dad for support, but he just crushed his cigarette. "Liam's right. We should go back." I just remembered. Emily was mad we missed her graduation. She graduated. She can't stay in the dorms. We need to find where she's staying and bring her home. Family doesn't hold grudges. If she apologizes to Sarah, she can come back. Liam nodded. Okay. Yeah. Family doesn't hold grudges. But when was the last time they really talked as a family? When was the last family trip?
Wait.
They went on many trips. But looking back, only Sarah was there. Emily was missing from every memory. Liam felt a chill. When did this happen? Since Sarah arrived. Emily stopped smiling. She cried, screaming she was innocent. Then she went silent. She stayed at school. When he saw her on campus, she'd be laughing with friends, but the moment she saw him, she'd look down and walk away. Panic rose in Liam's chest. He felt like he had lost something vital. Pack up. Flight is in 2 hours, Dad said, voice tight. They looked at each other. Both saw the same fear. I'll pack now, Liam said. They landed the next evening. Ignoring Sarah's complaints about luggage, the two men rushed home. On the way, they called Emily nonstop. Every time. The number you have dialed is no longer in service.
How?
It had only been a few days. They rushed upstairs to Emily's room and realized they gave it to Sarah. They looked at each other. They really lost Emily. Brandon was woken up by Sarah's call. He hadn't slept well. The image of Emily walking into the rain haunted him. She looked so wronged. And he did nothing. He promised to protect her. What happened? He answered Sarah's call. Hearing her cry, he automatically started soothing her. Sarah, don't cry. My heart hurts. Who bullied you? Sob, it's Dad and Liam. They're so mean. They can't find Emily, so they're yelling at me. It's not my fault she disappeared. Why ignore me? Since we landed, they haven't said a word to me. Brandon, I'm so sad. Can I come over? Emily disappeared? Brandon missed everything else. Emily disappeared. The girl who said she'd follow him forever was gone. Mom, stop buying. My closet is full. Nonsense. I'll have your stepdad convert the guest room into a walk-in closet. Stepdad, Richard, nodded, looking at Mom lovingly.
Done.
Anything for Emily. I watched my mom and my new dad. I felt warm. I thought I'd struggle in London, but they were amazing. And my stepbrother, Alex, was great too. After shopping, Alex pulled up in his new Bugatti. Mom, Dad, sis. Get in. New bistro, open downtown. Let's go. I sat in the passenger seat. Alex wouldn't stop talking about the menu. Okay, Alex, I get it. I'll order the tuna tartare. Richard laughed. Emily, Alex isn't usually this chatty. He just really likes having a sister. Alex rubbed his nose. Of course I like her. She's cute. I always wanted a sister. Now I have one. I'm gonna spoil her. Deal with it. We laughed. On the way back, I frowned. Alex's love was intense. After dinner, he took me to an auction house. He bought me jewelry worth millions. Alex, this is too much. He shrugged. Not at all. You dress too plainly. A girl your age should sparkle. My sister deserves to shine. Back home, the wall between my room and the guest room was already gone. A massive walk-in closet filled with the clothes Mom bought. Alex had a safe installed. For the jewelry. Wear whatever you want. My nose tingled. Thanks, brother. A warm hand patted my head. Family doesn't say thanks. I'm your brother. I blinked, dazed. Someone else said that once. Before he became someone else's brother. But maybe the universe is fair. I lost a father and brother. I gained a father and brother who actually loved me. Just like they lost me but gained Sarah. It's a fair trade. Lying in my new bed, I realized I hadn't thought about them in a long time. I opened WeChat. Classmates asking where I was. Saying my dad, brother, and Brandon were going crazy looking for me. It felt absurd. Why look for me? To apologize to Sarah again? I left. I gave her everything. Why are they still unhappy? I didn't care anymore. I deleted the app and slept. Time flew. I pursued my master's and PhD with a mentor, Richard. Introduced. Suddenly, it was Christmas. My birthday. Waking up to a 3-tier cake in the living room, I realized. I almost forgot. Sarah's birthday was Christmas Eve, the day before mine. Dad and Liam used to be excited. 2 days of parties. But later, they only remembered Sarah's. They forgot mine. Seeing Mom put the birthday crown on my head, I cried. It had been so long since I was cherished. They panicked, asking what was wrong. I told them everything about Sarah. Mom was furious. That old bastard. And Liam, that blind idiot. Richard rubbed her back. Don't be mad. I'll send someone to beat them up. Alex gritted his teeth. No need. I'll do it myself. I laughed through my tears. I hugged Mom. It's okay. I'm not sad anymore. I'm happy. Here. This Christmas wasn't cold. The cake was delicious. But before I could finish, the door burst open. Cynthia. We agreed I had custody. You can't just kidnap my daughter. Dad stormed in, furious. Liam followed, glaring at Mom.
Yeah, Mom.
How could you hide Emily from us? Mom slapped Liam. Liam, I told you to protect your sister. Is this how you protect her? She glared at Sarah, who was hiding behind Liam. I know what you did to Emily. You bullied her for an outsider. I'm taking her. Alex and Richard stood in front of me. Exactly. You don't want her? We do. We hit the jackpot getting a daughter and sister like this. Dad saw Richard and exploded. Richard, you stole my wife. Now you steal my daughter? Who do you think you are? Richard smiled calmly. I'm the one who doesn't play favorites. Emily is my daughter now. And she doesn't want a father who can't tell his own kid from a stranger. Dad looked at me, hopeful. Emily, that's not true, right? Before I could answer, he grabbed Sarah and shoved her forward. Emily, Dad was wrong. We know now she was lying. The allergy wasn't from your food. She bought pollen and put it on herself. We found it in her drawer. We know she framed you. Emily, Dad is sorry. Come back and we'll send her away. Okay. Dad and Liam looked at me, begging. I shook my head. I waited so long for this. But now I didn't need it. No thanks. I'm happy here. Richard and Alex treat me well. I'm not going back. Liam broke down. They aren't your real family. Emily, we are your blood. Come home, please. I was wrong. Sarah is out of your room. We'll never kick you out again. I said flatly, doesn't matter. I have my own room here. Bigger. Better. And no one tries to steal it. Liam. Even though Alex isn't blood, he's my real brother. Now. You said it once. Sometimes blood doesn't matter. Liam looked stricken. He remembered saying that when he slapped me for
Sarah.
I cried then, asking if I wasn't his real sister. He said he wished I was never born. Liam felt a massive panic. He was really losing me. No, Emily. I was tricked by Sarah. Alex scoffed.
You're an idiot then.
Tricked by cheap tricks. Or maybe you just never trusted your own sister. You don't deserve to be Emily's brother. Before they could argue, Richard's security dragged them
out.
They came to my university. I told them the same thing. Not going back. Finally, Dad asked red-eyed, Emily, can't you forgive me?
Once?
We're family. I looked at them. If I had a choice, I'd rather not be your daughter. That broke them. They never came back. Brandon came too. He knelt outside my dorm, crying, saying he was wrong. He said he realized how much he loved me after I left. He said Sarah tricked him. He begged for forgiveness. I watched from the window. I didn't go down. He knelt all night. He admitted he was wrong. But why should I forgive him? The betrayal was real. The hurt was real. I would never forgive him. He deserved to live with the guilt. Brandon stayed in London for a long time, until his father ordered him back. But news of his death followed. When Dad kicked Sarah out, she knew she was done. She grabbed onto Brandon like a lifeline, demanding he marry her. Knowing the truth, Brandon wanted nothing to do with her. When he rejected her again, she stabbed him in the heart. Then, she snuck back into Dad's villa. She set a fire, planning to die with Dad and Liam. The fire killed Liam and Sarah. Dad survived, but a beam crushed his spine. He was alive, but paralyzed from the neck down. The family was destroyed. After Brandon died, his father attacked Dad's business in revenge. Dad woke up to 3 nightmares.
His son was dead.
He was bankrupt. He was a quadriplegic. He called me later. He said he regretted adopting Sarah. He begged me to visit. The nurse was abusing him. I looked at my happy family in the living room, preparing for New Year's. I hung up. I'd hire a better nurse. I'd pay for a nursing home. But I wasn't going back. Just like the day I was kicked out into the rain and no one came for me. No one was coming for him. From now on, we were strangers. The end.